Team, GSL Season 3. This is Rock Shoot.
Did Bunny make it? Do you want me to tell you?
Yes, tell me.
He did.
He did.
He just got in. Everything's okay. It's all right, guys. Calm down. Chill out. Everyone just chill out.
Yeah.
We're going to have all of our games today. He's not DQ'd or anything. So we got Bunny versus Trap coming up.
Okay.
I think this should be a closer match. Probably a more interesting match than TY versus RagnaroK. No disrespect to RagnaroK, but that was definitely a David versus Goliath match where, as it would normally be, Goliath actually killed David.
Yeah. Yeah, that's generally how it goes.
David didn't even bring a slingshot to that match.
Yeah, if I could have microed Goliath, I definitely would have killed David, and that story never would have made it into whatever book it's in.
The Bible.
The Bible. Okay,
Yes.
I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Trap, though, is really, really good.
Yes.
Like, he is so underrated still. Everyone's kind of been talking about it more, so I think he's, like, kind of raising to that. But, like, he's a danger to everyone. In fact, I would imagine TY will beat him, but if he won the group, it wouldn't, it would be kind of like Impact the other night where I'm like, I'm not that surprised. He's really good.
With Bunny going up against Trap here, I feel like Trap is actually pretty good against Terran. He's got a lot of different builds. Bunny is someone who's, tell me if I'm wrong about this, but I mostly think of Bunny for his pushes. He's overall, pretty solid Terran. He's kind of overshadowed by a lot of these other great Terrans.
Yeah.
I probably a little bit better than Keen as far as where I kind of place everybody. Keen kind of the very, very tail end of the Terrans. We're good.
I'm going to go ahead and say that Keen is the most underrated player right now, and I think that Keen's amazing and better than Bunny. But maybe I'm a crazy person.
Well, no,
we'll see.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Bunny,
I don't know.
Bunny is like, generally I was putting him like maybe 7th best Terran in Korea or something like that. And that doesn't sound as good as it is. Like, the Korean Terrans are really good.
Yeah,
there's so many.
Korea's always produced good Terrans. StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
They've got the scariest Terrans, just like Europe now just produces so many great Zergs in StarCraft 2.
Terran always seems to require... The thing is, it's weird that that's the case in both games because StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2 Terran are as different as Protoss and Zerg.
I think part of it's just that there were so many star players who were Terran in Korea early on that influenced the decision for a lot of the younger players.
Yeah, it could be.
To pick that.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. So map 1 is going to be on Acid Plant. I actually did not catch what they said in our ears, Artosis. Is there a delay, or do we know what's going on?
I have no idea.
I might need production to notify me if there's anything else. I just didn't quite hear that. If Bunny was 2 minutes later than when he got in, he would have been DQ'd. Whoa.
Wow. And let's see if he wins GSL Code S now.
That's right.
He was just 2 minutes away from not winning.
He was parkouring down the street,
Yeah.
Spider-Man swinging
Probably running.
to get here on time. Cars are crashing.
You missed one
Mommies
more
with
train.
babies are getting knocked out of the way. Yeah, one more train.
Yeah.
It's about a
That happens.
2
Every
to
now
3
and then I
minute
run
wait.
up to the train, the doors close in my face. I'm like,
Yeah.
and that makes me 5 minutes later.
That's right. Crazy. So, luckily, Bunny did make it in, or we would be out of here in an hour and a half, Artosis, maybe even less time. So we're going to get our full day today, which is good.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of having to DQ a player. I mean, we do have to have these rules.
Never like that.
No matter what, because we're doing a show.
Yeah.
But luckily, he's made it, which is good. But I think he still might be getting his stuff set up.
Yeah, probably. It takes a minute to plug in. In fact, I kind of see in the corner of the screen that there are people standing behind where Bunny is.
That's
so
right.
they're probably
Right
setting it all up real quick.
Over there.
Right there.
Yes.
See, that guy. Well, this is really hard to do all looking. And then that guy and then that guy are helping that guy who's Bunny. Watch this, Tasteless.
Yeah.
I'm going to help Trap out here.
You guys squish his head with your hands? Can you do it?
I try to. I like do it, and I just do it from my face. I'm like, yeah, I got him. You guys can't see it, but trust me, I got him. Bunny is someone, you said he's known for his pushes. I don't really disagree. He's like kind of a somewhat aggressive mid-game Terran, in my opinion, in this matchup.
I feel like my initial description of him doesn't quite do him justice, but he doesn't have as much that stands out compared to some of the other Terran players. You have Gumiho that goes for totally crazy unit compositions, innovation, perfect macro, always pushing, very robotic. TY, tactically a genius, beyond great with micro, better than basically everybody else. And then Maru, perfect at everything. But Bunny's a little bit harder to, and I think this is true with a lot of Terrans, if they're not the very, very best of the best, they're kind of hard to pigeonhole as far as play style.
I think there's like a lot. It's very mechanical. you have to do tons of multitasking stuff. So like there's this base level that you have to get to before you can kind of differentiate yourself, I guess. And that's where a lot of strength comes in. Like, can you do 3 drops at once and micro them? Can you prioritize them?
Right calls with them and everything else like that. Yeah.
But yeah, I always kind of think of him as a mid-game player. I can't, for the life of me, thinking through his games, I can't think of like a late-game TVP that Bunny was like at 3-3 upgrades and pulled out, with 5 bases against the Protoss. I can't.
Yeah, I don't think of him with Ghost sniping down Ultralisks and Broodlords. That doesn't really come to mind. I don't really think of him as a guy that proxies that much. No. I just think of 2 tanks in a medevac, which is supposed to be a secret, but it's not because he does it every game, almost every game. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at with that. But Trap, going up against him, I think Trap's a player who he is very, very good and well-rounded and great in this matchup. He had years ago that incredible series against Neeb in the finals. But he's another guy where I think he's just overshadowed by these good Protosses, not in the same way that Bunny is. Where would you put Trap for Protosses? 5 in Korea?
So, I mean...
Well, what do you think? We got SOS,
Classic Stats, Zest, SOS are all right up there. I think I'd put
4?
Trap maybe right after. Or right... The thing is,
Are we forgetting somebody?
I think that Trap is more...
I guess we would have been
solid than some of those players.
We would have been putting Hero there.
Yeah.
But Hero's not been doing well in the middle of 2018.
He didn't make it last season, which was a really weird thing. He lost the emotion in the qualifiers twice. But, I mean, he made it through his group the other night. Hero is generally right there, too, as one of the very top ones. In fact, oftentimes we called him a top 2 Protoss. But, yeah, like Stats, Classic, Zest, SOS. We have a lot of good Protoss out here, man. Damn. It's the Zergs that we're actually, like, lacking on a little bit.
In Korea,
Yeah, it's like Rogue and Sue and Dark.
Who are disproportionately good. And then you have players like Solar, who's solid.
Sometimes he's as good as them, and then sometimes he's out in the round of 32.
Yeah.
And then there's, like, Impact, who's up and down a little bit, but rising generally. And then we have Lenok, who was down, was going to win. I put him in Losira as a round of 32 guys. Yeah, now I'm like, well, he's making it to BlizzCon, I would say. And I think he's going to get the round of 8 there. Okay? Like, Lenok's playing so well. And people are like, no. I threw my vote away in GSL versus the World.
Yeah.
I threw it away tasteless. I voted for a third party. I voted for Lenok.
Gary Johnson of Zerg players is what you did back there.
I was like, all right, I got to do it. I got to put my vote where my mouth is. And I click Lenok, and then I wake up and see the results, and it's Dark and Sue going through. I'm like, I didn't do anything there. I didn't help.
I don't know how long this delay is going to be. Again,
if it's 2 minutes more, I'm going to disqualify him.
So we're almost there. I've been notified by production. Again, we never have players that show up late. 2 minutes later, and he would have been gone. So I've just been told by production, we're kind of filling you guys in on this. You have to get here before 7 if you're late. That's it. That's the cutoff time.
Well, I think you have to be here for 7 if you're the second match is what it is.
Nope, because we once did it. We had another player who was late, and we rotated the 2 things.
I remember that.
But here's the thing. Pro gamers who want to play in GSL who are like, I'm going to sleep in today. What if 2 you sleep in? Then everybody's disqualified.
Damn.
That's right. Now, I do wonder if this tardy show-up time is going to be affecting Bunny. I mean, can you imagine running through the streets?
Yeah.
Some guy's like, extra, read all about it. You knock his newspapers out of the hand. I got to get to the GSL.
Oh, man.
Excuse me, sir. Just would like to give you a quick survey. Boom. Clipboard flies out of the hands. Sir, would you like to support UNICEF? Boom. Get out of my way.
They're everywhere, the UNICEF people. Yeah.
Now, Trap is just saying, this scumbag, he showed up early. Trap took care of all of his household chores. He fed the cats and the dogs, the bunny rabbits.
Maru and SOS.
Woo! Look at that nice little bag on Trap.
Look at that fanny pack that's across his back.
It's called a backy pack.
Yeah, backy pack. Mm-hmm. Fanny packs are big time over here, man. Everyone wears them across their chest, but I wear my fanny pack the way that God intended.
That's right, like a tourist in Florida.
That's right.
Right around your waist. Now, we're going to go to Asset Plant. We are ready to go into this game. Can Bunny pull it together? He was late. He almost got DQ'd. Trap, let's see what you got too, man. This is game 1, Bunny versus Trap.
Match 1, fight.
Oh, our producer's just killing it today. We're getting all these updates here as well. I'm going to fill you guys in a little bit more on the details.
Titan EX1.
After
Bunny.
this.
Jin Air Green Wings. Trap.
So to break down the rules for you guys, because this is kind of interesting. So our rule system is, if you get to the player chair before it is 7, and you're the only player late, and we can even try to make this work for you, you get to the chair, right? Then you have a 5-minute timer to get everything set up.
Yeah, if you sit in the chair.
If you sit in the chair.
Now, here's a question. What if both your legs are broken and you have to play at a standing desk?
Wow. That's a good question. Some Bunny
Sit in the
support
chair.
here.
Get disqualified. Why does GSL hate players with 2 broken legs?
That's the real question.
That's the real question right there. Oh my gosh.
So,
I'm going to train hard at StarCraft 2 every day, then break my legs and then really test them tasteless. See if they hold to their rules.
So the other question, of course, is did Bunny have enough time to get everything set up? I was also told by production it was down to the wire. So, I mean, that's something scary, right? I mean, you're basically like, it's like showing up to a hockey game and you don't quite have your ice skates on correctly. I mean, how are you going to play the game?
Oh, man. Probably won't go too fast on the ice.
No. Maybe those shoes are too small and they hurt. So, yeah, I mean, let's see what happens. We've shot the gun. The race has started. Let's hope that Bunny can deliver here. Now, I think Bunny could beat RagnaroK if he goes down to the losers match, although I don't think it would be anywhere near as easy as it was for TY.
Yeah.
And I think by then, Bunny should have calmed his nerves down if he has any of those issues because he barely made it in time.
Yeah. Well, looks like he's going to go triple command immediately here. You know, I think it's a good build to mix in for sure.
By the way, I find it kind of cool. I'm glad Bunny made it, but it's kind of cool to learn about these rules that we have for stuff like this, because I actually didn't know any of this stuff. We just don't normally ever get in this situation, but I guess we have a rule for everything here at the GSL.
Yeah. Seems that way. So, I mean, I kind of like what Bunny's brought here today so far. And I know it's just the very beginning, but the beginning is a very good place to start, as they sing.
Yeah.
And like that micro on the Reaper was nice. He microed very excellently there for a moment, right? So it seems like his hands are steady. And he's gone for kind of an interesting opening build, 3 command centers right off the bat. And, you know, as long as he's safe with it, he's getting his eBay on the right time and everything, so he should be safe against the Oracle. And this is one of the builds, in my opinion, that the Oracle doesn't want to run into that much. But you can just make your Nexus behind this, a 3rd Nexus.
Yeah. Well, you don't get to do a lot with it, but it's not like the opening didn't work, I guess is one way to put it.
Yeah.
So the Reaper's trying to keep this Protoss as honest as possible. It's eventually eliminated. Stim now starts, as well as Terran weapons. And in a second here, this Oracle is going to get confirmation. Now, he's going to come in here on the north side of the second base, but not actually attack in there. And I think this is wise. He needs to actually get in the main and see what the build is.
Yeah.
And he needs to scout that command center, and he sees it now, so he knows exactly what's going on.
Yeah, he has complete full intel. He starts his 3rd Nexus immediately.
So this is known as a passive build here from Terran, and the response from Protoss is forced to also be a passive build, as he can't do that much more than try to maybe poke with the depths in an Oracle and get SCVs, but really just take another Nexus and start teching up. You can see he's getting that Robo now as well.
I like what you said there, because this game is going to be a little bit slow here for a moment, that, you know, it's a passive build from Terran, and it's kind of forcing Protoss to play passively as well in a way. Of course, you do the harassment, but
Right.
A nice little thing that I think a lot of people don't really fully understand or know about StarCraft that can really help out if you're trying to learn about StarCraft 2 is once you've scouted something, it's too late to counter it, kind of. Like, if you scout this, you can't be like, okay, I have a build that kills this. That generally isn't the way. It's more like you both keep making decisions and you both keep scouting, and eventually you'll find a place where, hopefully you'll find a place where your build is strong against their build. But now, like, when his Oracle flies and sees this, it's not like he can just do something with his build that kills it. You know, so he has to kind of be like, okay, well, now I take a third base. So, you know, that's part of the reason why I kind of like this opening from Bunny.
Yeah.
But he got a little bit of damage on. This has been good harassment. 6 SCVs, that's really not bad. He's continuing to get a little bit more, too.
Tarian's had a little bit more impact. Again, did Bunny have his equipment set up correctly? I mean, all this comes down to, did you get in here on time? Because he's certainly not getting his Marines in the right position to just lock out these Oracles.
He's really not. And when you lose 8 SCVs, you know, that is a bit of an issue. You know, a couple of those kills were really clever, like the 3 Adept walk in with the shade out to kill 2. That was really nice. And you're always going to get a couple with an Oracle, right? But 8, it seems slightly excessive.
So 5 more gateways are coming down. A Colossus is coming up. The Colossus is the direct threat to the infantry opening here. Good job, gets that observer. But, he might even get this other one.
Next one just floats right into it.
Oh,
that's too funny.
Okay, that is...
Trap.
That is value.
Now, the next thing we're going to see is a scan on this. Then the Colossus is going to walk in there. He's going to scan that and kill it.
I mean...
You don't think that's funny? Come on, Tasteless.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry, guys.
I let everybody down. So the medevacs are going to come in now. And we'll see if Trap decides to poke out. Now, because Terran has medevacs, when the Protoss leaves, you can try to fly in and drop. Or you can just drop right now. What the hell? So he's going to do that. Now there's Oracles coming here. There's a Warpin as well, but I think with this many Stim Marines, he can get some of these Zealots before they even pop out. Yeah, with a Warpin like that. I didn't even see those Stalkers actually up there at the top. You know, if the combination of the cannon and the 2 Oracles really helped him out there. If you hadn't had all of that, then that would have done a lot. And in fact, this drop doing a very fantastic job right now. Gets rid of that cannon that's warping in. Look at this, 24 probes killed. Kind of crazy. He's gotten nearly 30 workers killed. The drop is still in the main. I don't really feel like Trap was respecting Bunny this game. Hey, now he's lost his assimilator. Oh no! How will he mine gas now?
Well, with what probes, right?
Yeah.
Probably better off that way. He's not going to bank too much gas.
It's going to be easier to balance that out. He can't accidentally send too many probes into gas now.
And thank God 2 of his gateways are on power because he certainly can't afford to produce
That's
out
right.
of everything.
In fact, I think Bunny's helping him, if anything.
Yeah. So Bunny's actually taken strong control of this game. And, you know, a lot of this does come down to a well-placed build order there. You know, if Trap had opened up like Parting was, or Haas does, or, you know, SOS sometimes does, then Bunny might have just instantly died. But since it was kind of a macro opening from Trap, like a safe one, Bunny has been able to really parlay this into something nice. The 2 observers dying off, by the way, had something to do with it because he didn't see the drop incoming at all.
That's a good point. I don't think we've ever gotten to cast that where an observer's killed and another one
flies into
the exact rally point, only to be killed again with that same scan remaining. I feel like Bunny can close this one out. I don't think he even has to do anything fancy. I think he gets maxed out and he pushes and he wins the game.
I think he actually pushes before that. I think like with this next round, he just moves out because his supply isn't going to be like max. When you hit max, there's going to be way more splash damage for Protoss. I think he actually just moves really quick. And I think that's his plan because we don't see an armory. So he's just sitting on 1-1. Like, this should be his strongest time ever in this game relative to Trap. So I think that right now you come. Okay, he's killing the rocks. He's got a ton of Vikings, by the way, but Trap actually cleverly switched into Disruptor play.
Yeah.
So if he gets some insane Disruptor shots, then this can become holdable.
Okay. So Bunny is beginning to surround Trap. Trap needs to have good defense. It's not over yet. I mean, Bunny has to execute correctly, but I mean, with these kind of numbers and upgrades, it's definitely doable. Now, the Disruptor shots are what we really want to watch for. Can they chunk off a good bit of that army?
Yeah, well, that's a fantastic one right there. Wow, 3 mines.
You know, one thing about Disruptors, a lot of people say this with Storms, we get a lot of times see the Templars die after the Storms are cast, but you know, a Disruptor can keep firing out and taking out a lot the army without really you losing anything, which is great. Now, Bunny's also set up in such a way that Trap really cannot get an additional base. You know, Trap's kind of stuck here, and Bunny's actually expanded to the center left.
Yeah. Well, he goes for a drop into the main base. Trap does have a nice warp in around there. Looks like he will clean it. I feel like Bunny had a bit more of an opportunity than we've seen him really be able to capitalize on.
Let's just do it!
And not the greatest. Double Guardian Shield as he comes up.
Okay, he's just losing disruptors here.
Okay, he gets a couple good disruptor shots off, and the rest of his army's coming down. Oh boy, landed
Suddenly,
Vikings.
I feel as though Bunny, who was in a great position, is actually going to lose so much here.
Yeah.
He's going to lose the Liberators. The Vikings are actually in shot range, and I don't know, man. This is a throw.
It is a bit, isn't it?
Yeah. This is horrible.
Because he really was in a nice spot, and the disruptor switch was nice, but the way that Bunny was trying to bully his way up a hill for the attack, and like the drop in the main, like I see what he's trying to do, but
just walks up there.
Yeah, I think that this definitely could have been done a bit better. And now, you know, you look at this situation, and Trap is making 2 disruptors at a time. He's getting another base. Bunny's still okay. Like, he's not out of this game after that. His economy hasn't been injured since the initial Oracle, so that's nice.
I think on paper he's okay. I think psychologically he's going to be pretty pissed off, Artosis. He was in an incredible position to really, you know, have a good start here in this series. And I don't even feel like Trap was handling good chunks of this game that well. I think this game, in a weird way, is kind of highlighting why TY will probably get out first.
Well, you could be right about that. I would never be surprised if TY went in a group. Promise you that much.
Okay, this is kind of an odd angle to poke out at, especially because the Colossi fire is going to be drawn by the turret as well as the sensor tower. Trap a little bit sloppy, a little bit messy with these disruptors, although I do feel like he can actually push in here. I don't see a Liberator here, unless I'm missing something.
No, he's making
2 more come down.
Still some Vikings out there. It's interesting how many Vikings he's still producing.
Well, I guess there are still Colossi on the map, but I do feel like Liberators should be prioritized.
Yeah, well, if you're making Liberators and Vikings, like, you're not going to have the right number of either. Look at that, he's had his 4 Vikings. Like, I'll get him with 4 Vikings. He's like, wait, I need a 5th Viking. And thus he makes the 5th Viking.
Here we go. Now, it seems like Bunny's good at reorganizing his army and having the defense. Let's see how this attack over here does. And this is just going to trigger the recall.
Whoop. Yeah. I don't think he's too sad about that. Forcing that recall can be nice. It gives him another opportunity where maybe he can do a big drop elsewhere and punish if there's units not in the correct positions. Disruptor's just kind of sitting in the middle of the map, but sometimes that's the best place for him.
Yeah, I think so.
You can really catch Terran off guard if you're watching.
I do sometimes wonder, and I'm sure there's people that would disagree with me or agree with me on both sides here, is that how many disruptors do you want to make? You don't want to overmake these, right? It could be hard to really use them all at once. But here we go. Some disruptor shots coming out one by one, and they are beginning to break off bits of that army. Now with the Colossi here in the back, the Stalker's gunning down these Vikings. In fact, he runs away.
Quite excellent kiting there by Bunny and pulling back and everything, but continuing to chase.
Problem is
these disruptor shots are going to be back in just a second here.
Yeah, not just that, but those SCVs, 18 of them killed off while he's trying to drive back this attack. The Disruptor's doing a decent job. They do need the rest of the army with them. In a lot of ways, you can kind of think of them like an Ultralisk, even though they operate quite differently. They're only like an Ultralisk in the sense that you need some other stuff with them.
Oh, Disruptors alone are like the worst thing in the game.
Yeah.
But we saw there, you know, he made a ton of disruptors, and they actually really helped out, especially on the retreat. A player retreating with disruptors is like 10 times more strong than a player attacking with disruptors. So chasing them down is actually where Bunny took a lot more damage, and that's a normal occurrence. But if you feel like you got that edge, you got to do it.
Okay. There's a small drop coming in here. It looks like Warpins are going to be the response. Trap's going to try to press forward. Now, Trap's going to be occupying a location where these structures are producing units. And I actually don't know if Bunny can stop this.
Huh. Yeah, this is kind of wild, right? Bunny does not have a lot left over. His SCV count has gone way down. He's still got an okay size of supply, and he's taken out the 4th base, so there's some stuff going on for him. Love that SCV on top of the Disruptor.
Okay, now I have to say, this has kind of been one of the sloppier games I've been able to cast here, because Trap's down to 3 bases.
Certainly gotten down and dirty.
Bunny is in a lot of ways just disjointed from everything. We see the few remaining SCVs that Bunny has actually part of this fight. It's going to be a few more SCV kills before the dust settles.
Yeah, he forced the recall, so Bunny's main base is not completely killed off. You know, he still has that planetary that's mining, and he still has another command center over at his 3rd base area. So there's still stuff going on here for Bunny. I guess he should have 2 mules consistently available, but instead uses a scan. See what he can produce. Okay, so 7 medevacs, 4 Marauder, 22 Marine, and a Liberator. Over on the other side, the Stalker Disruptor is really the important stuff. Like, the Zealots and Archons are nice, but Stalker Disruptor itself is a good composition here.
Okay, Bunny needs to hold his position here. I just don't know that he can, especially with these Disruptors up here. There's no easy way to get a repair off. And, okay, here we go. They're going to try to loop around here. That does go down. And there's a drop now in the main. Now, this is a lot of gateways that are going to be unpowered.
Yeah, this is getting pretty crazy right now. Like, this is getting so base tradey. It's hard to say exactly what will go down. Like, you definitely look at this and say Trap has the edge, but if Bunny micros really well a few times, like, look at this. Some of this splitting's really awesome for Bunny.
I think Trap closes this. He just needs to take out the what's in his main. I'm assuming he's warping units in down there.
But
no, nothing can be warped in there.
I want to see those upgrades once again.
GG.
Okay.
Trap wins game 1 in a bit of a bloodbath of a game.
Yeah. But that was, I actually kind of liked that game, even though it was really kind of down and dirty and messy the whole time. Like, I like the amount of harassment damage that, well, first off, I liked the build that Bunny did to open up with, right? That kind of says to Trap, like, hey, I can play a very greedy game here. And then Trap did some really great harassment. Bunny did some great counter harassment that, like, really crippled Trap. But Trap switching in Disruptor showed that he's very good with masses of Disruptors, and I feel like Bunny misplayed at that point with that attack. You know, when he kept trying to go up the hill against the Disruptors, and he had like a bunch of Vikings and stuff.
Well, you know, that whole play earlier where Bunny looked like he had the closer set up, but he just didn't attack properly. Almost in some moments, I thought maybe you were respecting the Disruptors a little bit too much, and even the angle he attacked into. You know, if you go through a valley against Disruptors, where do you run? Well, you don't, especially with Stalkers there to hit your medevacs if you pick up.
It's tough. Yeah.
We're going to go to Lost and Found and see if Bunny can pull something else off. Right now, Trap with a 1-0 lead. Let's go.
Match 2, fight. Titan EX1, Bunny. Jin Air Green Wings, Trap.
All right. Definitely a interesting first game, and I gotta say, like, everyone is leveling up still. Like, a lot of players that I didn't expect to play well, like for instance Lenok, of course, is the big story where, you know, you don't expect much out of him. You expect him probably to fall in the round of 32, and then he's like, oh, I'm a god now. And then even tonight, like, even though RagnaroK got 2-0'd, I thought he looked pretty strong, and that first game from Bunny I thought looked pretty good. You know, that wasn't a terrible game by any means. He showed, you know, some good builds and stuff like that. So,
yeah, no, it was a good game. I mean, Bunny definitely exhibiting that he knows how to hold his own against Trap. The question though is, what really happened psychologically with Bunny in game 1, because he did have a lead. It did seem pretty tremendous. Trap did drop the ball on the defense, but Trap kind of showing why he has had overall more success than Bunny has. is he can hunker down and pull it together, for lack of better words. Yeah. And I'm just a little bit worried. I mean, what if Trap plays a cleaner game this time around? Does Bunny ever get a leg up on him?
Well, I wouldn't think so normally. Guess we have to wait and see how that goes. All right, second Adept coming out. Okay, there's the Stargate. Of course, kind of what we're waiting for here to see if Trap has something crazy planned or just a standard opener. Probably feels pretty comfortable opening up with those Oracles. Especially considering that last game, he definitely got behind pretty far in the early mid-game. Still was able to pull it out.
Adept's going to come up. Can he actually get this SCV? Looks like the command center's not finished yet. Kind of annoying. This is a great delay here. The Stargate getting close to being done. Oracles are going to be inbound now. And there's 2 more Hellions being made. Now, as that Adept backs up, looks like he may try to come in here again.
Yeah, it looks like he's completely ready to push up. Now, the 2 Hellions come down to kind of do a bit of battle. It's interesting to me that he made the 2 Hellions to start here. It's not completely uncommon. But since Trap has scouted this and kept on top of things with these 2 Adepts, don't expect those to get a lot of probes like you sometimes see.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He just goes right up there. And now he's gotten rid of the Reaper, gets rid of the Hellion, and finally this Adept is going to go down, but some decent damage done there. I actually did not think he was going to complete the Shade in.
I kind of like that he did. It feels like he got a ton of information with that, and, you know, even just killing off the Reaper, for instance, it's like you just don't really have to worry about that coming in anymore. Not that it's going to do that much later in the game, but it seemed all right. Oracle is out. Where is the Oracle? Is that red dot that's sitting there? No, that must be a probe, right?
I'm actually not sure. Could be a probe. So the third base is coming down. Not much of an opportunity for Terran to really try to push this. I mean, we see the E-base coming here, Stims a ways away. Protoss is getting more gateways and not making anything else out of that starport. Yeah. And actually, it was just the Oracle that was out there the whole time.
Oh, okay, that's kind of funny that that was sitting there like that.
Well, maybe he wanted to keep the Oracles back for a while and have the Terran discount that as a possible tech and then bring them out later on.
Yeah, I guess he could. It's just... I mean, if you want to play a very careful game with your Oracles, you can play like this. It's just, it's a weird location that the Oracle is sitting in, right? If you're not going to attack until the second one comes out, why not just keep it home? But the Oracle's just kind of sitting there. I guess they get some good scouting intel. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, with the quick third Nexus going immediately into charge and +1 armor in the Templar Archive. So this is not a build that you see really all that often. Obviously, he has, like, basically no anti-air right now, so that can be an issue. But when you do something like this, right, like, it looks very much like he wants to just get into charge plus Archon, just have a very strong army to run around with. And if he has read this situation correctly, and maybe he thinks that Bunny is going for a Bunny push, I want to actually see Bunny's buildings again. Because I actually see a bunch of reactors making a siege tank on the way, so I think that actually is what's going on. Yeah, okay, so 3 racks plus the tanks. It's kind of like what TY did at RagnaroK in Game 2.
Yeah. I do wonder, though, if it's going to work at all. I mean, Trap's pretty good at holding this stuff off. Bunny's been doing this kind of play for a while. I mean, in this sense, he is like a player you can kind of typecast, you know? Psystorm's on the way. That's going to be chronoed out. A few Templars being warped in. Here comes a Hellion that looks like it just manages to roam inside of Trap's base.
Well,
okay.
I mean, he actually got a lot of info with that, to be fair. I guess he goes up in tags right afterwards, so that might have been a mistake.
Here comes that push.
Yeah, there's the Bunny push.
But there's no tanks. I don't see any tanks, Artosis. He must just be trying to drop me.
Yeah, that must be it.
That must be it, guys.
Well, he's going to have Psystorm ready for
Bunny
this.
always putting 2 tanks in a medevac. Now, usually this is sneaky, especially for in a ladder game, because a player can think it's drops. Bunny does this pretty much every time.
Yeah, this is a big fallback for Bunny, a very standard play. Now, if he micros super perfectly, he can actually do a lot with this.
SCV's pulled. This is all about this timing.
Yeah.
If Bunny can't make this work here and Trap shuts us down, Bunny's basically out of this game.
Yeah. If Psystorms hit, Trap wins. If they don't, oh wow, this is not good by Trap, I would say.
Well, some storms go down, doing some damage. He forced the siege, which means the push is delayed. He's picking up. He's going to try to move in here again. I think Protoss might want to rinse and repeat, but he doesn't want to attack into this until he absolutely has to.
This is good play from Trap, the way that he's forcing the siege ups and retreating a little bit as well. It's giving him time to hit some more Psystorms, because so far the Psystorms have not really been that awesome.
Yeah, they could have been, I think, a lot better. So he's going to try to slow push this. Now, when you see those SCVs in the push like that, that's SCVs that are not mining. So, I mean, he's really... Oh! One Oracle goes down.
This is actually some nice play by Bunny. I like how he's setting up as well. It looks like he wants to do an entrenched push.
I'm a little bit worried for him, though. I mean, this push has to start dealing damage. Right now, Trap is still mining. And in fact, he's going to try to come in.
I think that Bunny can... There's definitely a possibility he can kill him with this, because the charges will be used up on things like bunkers. Everything will be together. There's mines in there for splash. There's tanks in there for splash. The damage output of these +1 Stim Marines is really high. And he's forcing the situation where you have to have units in your main, and he's pushing you. So
yeah, but Trap's still mining on 3 bases Arctosis, and Bunny is mining on 1 because his SCVs are out here.
You're certainly right about that part.
Ouch! Another storm goes down, not taking out the majority of those Marines. But again, guys, Bunny needs to come in here and actually take this out. And these Zealots can eat up the reinforcements. This is pretty sick.
Yeah.
He's not in range of a Nexus. Nothing's going to trigger Trap to attack unless he says, I have enough.
Yeah.
And I guess he says, I have enough. Great
those storms were insane.
Wow.
And now a flank. Oh, boy. He's going to clean this for sure.
It was a cakewalk here for Trap. GG.
Okay.
Bunny goes to the loser's match to face off against RagnaroK. And Trap goes up into the winner's match to face off against TY.
Yeah, good job there by Trap. He really read that situation well. He got up into his Psystorm immediately. He forced many siege ups. If Bunny had been able to push a little bit quicker, he actually had a better overall army, and especially with the SCVs being pulled, I think there was an opportunity to win that game for Bunny. You give, like, Maru that set of units moving out that time against Trap, I bet you Maru kills him.
Even the bunker going down, I get the idea, but if you're setting your SCVs and you're making a bunker, these SCVs are not doing anything.
Yeah.
You know, Trap set him out pretty well. I initially questioned the storms coming down, but then I look at it and say, no, he bought enough time. And that's going to be a win. We're going to a break. We come back, the winner's match in tonight's GSL. Codes!